Being Broomer here, Mike Broomhead, and welcome to the second video about my story. Now, I had actually filmed this before. Most of these videos are a little bit in the past. I say a little bit. The first video was about 5 months ago, something like that. And then the second video that I am redoing right now was maybe a few weeks after. The reason I'm redoing it is because, as you can see, I was in my car and the sound was terrible. But in order to not ruin any surprises of my story, I will talk as if I don't know any better, and that's the time frame that I was in. Doing the video again does have its benefits. For one, I can explain this little character in the corner here. That isn't just a logo for the series, that is something that represents how I feel at the time. So it may change as time goes on, but this is the general condition that I feel my colon is in. Special thanks to Henry Lidstone Pettifogger, who is linked in Instagram below, for drawing this. If you're interested in cartoon animation, that sort of thing, then go and check out his Instagram. Hopefully the outside bit, the colon bit, won't be removed. But if the surgery happens, then that will be gone off of the animation, I guess. The other thing I get to do is to thank everybody for the messages. Now, because it was set in the past, obviously everybody's wishing me well with surgery, which is what I had planned. But from this video being biologics versus surgery, I'm going to talk about the differences there. But it's the messages that really make the difference. I've never really been one for commenting on Facebook, that sort of thing. Every now and again I do it. It really does mean something. Reading through all the support and all the messages and everything like that really shows that there is, you know, I'm not on my own. There are other people with this problem. There are family members who are thinking about me. There are friends that are thinking about me. And it really does do something. It's made me happier, it's made me more determined, and just overall it's a nice feeling. The other thing, of course, is giving up your time. So I really appreciate you taking I think it was 12 minutes to watch that video. Even if you didn't watch the whole thing, it's still taking time out of your day, out of your busy days, to watch me talk about my problems, which is you know, I really appreciate it. It means a lot. It means a lot. It makes a difference. Anyway, so that being said, I just wanted to get into the point of the original video shot in the car with the bad sound. So really, it was a toss-up between biologics and surgery. During the video, I was on the way to an appointment to see a nutritionist about bringing up all my numbers and hopefully maintaining things. But at the time, I had already spoken to a surgeon. I had already set things in place for doing biologics, having been steered down the route of biologics, and this nutritionist-based thing wasn't going well. I was on, I think, about 3 appointments, and I had not got anything out of it. Really, this video is about the biologics versus surgery. So surgery, I briefly mentioned in the last one, I'm not sure if I went into detail. There's two surgeries, for me anyway. There's 2 surgeries. So what would happen is surgery number 1, I would go in, they would remove the colon, they would take the small intestine, make a pouch out of it, seal all that off, and then where the small intestine would then meet sort of my hip area, where it should normally meet the large intestine, the colon, I would then have a bag. Now this would be 3 months to a year, whatever time frame it takes to recover from that and get another appointment, another surgery booked. But then the second one would be after that all healed, to then connect the end where the bag is connected to the new pouch. So everything would work as normal. I say as normal. Everything would look like it worked as normal. I would not have any external items, and I would effectively get rid of the problem. The downside to that is it permanently gets rid of my colon. It would permanently guarantee that I would go about 6 times a day, which isn't a lot compared to now. So it's a benefit, but it would use my final card. I would not have any more cards to play, and it wouldn't guarantee that it would actually work. It's quite likely it would work, because in theory it gets rid of all the inflammation, but I would still, you know, I'd be supplementing, I'd be struggling, I wouldn't take in as much water because of the colon's where you do the hydration, that sort of thing. So I would have taken that ability away from myself. This is where the biologics come in, because A lot of people, and since the first video, people have reached out and told me about how they have similar problems and biologics work for them. I'm sort of confused at how it works actually, because originally I thought one thing, and since then I've thought another thing. One doctor described it as a spy is sent in to a group. The spy's wearing a hat, nobody else is wearing a hat, so that's the differentiator, but it does the same job as everybody else and fits in with everybody else. It's just there to effectively tell the body that there's no problem and block that message from getting through. That's what I was explaining before. I'm not sure if that's correct, but it's a product that works for a lot of people. So that's effectively the quick explanation. It gets very detailed, it gets very in-depth about that. There are many biologics. There's Remicade, there's Humira, there's a few others that are coming through. It's a very new disease, so as time goes on, more and more options come through, but they all do roughly the same thing. So some work for some work for others, and overall it's just really a hit and miss, and it can take some time to work too, so it's not really a defined this will work for you in this amount of time. It's really take this, see what happens. That's what the video was. It was really more long-winded in the first one from the car, but you couldn't hear anything, so the droning of the engine made that a little bit difficult to hear, so I decided to redo it to thank you all for the messages and to explain the little guy in the corner who's there just showing his emotions at the moment. That's kind of my internal emotions, and that's kind of how my gut feels most of the time, so that's just a visual representation without getting a little bit too graphic. Anyway, thanks for watching the video. I really appreciate it. I will continue to release my progression and my stories over the next weeks. I'll keep them as short as possible. They won't all be 12 minutes. Thank you so much. Thanks for watching again. Look out for the next one. Oh, the next one is actually after the appointment that I drove to in this one, so going back in time, we'll take off from there. Okay, thanks a lot. Speak to you soon. Bye-bye.